Hey folks, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Arun Ulag. I'm the Corporate Vice President of Azure Data here at Microsoft. So I built all of the data products for Microsoft, transactional databases, analytics, Power BI, messaging real time, you name it. As we go through the session, we have a bunch of moderators who are ready to answer your questions. So feel free to click on the Q&A button and put your questions in the chat. So I'm going to talk to you about how Microsoft thinks about the data and AI space, the trends that we're seeing, the investments they're doing, and why we're bringing a product portfolio together into Microsoft Fabric. You'll also see some exciting demos, so let's get started. We all recognize that AI is rapidly changing the world, and it's no surprise to anybody here. But we also recognize that AI is only as good as the data that it gets to work on, because the best AI models, if you put garbage in, most likely you're going to get garbage out. So it's become incredibly important for every customer to get their data estate ready for AI. And I like to say there's good news and bad news. The good news is there's been so much innovation in the data and AI space. The bad news is there's been so much innovation in the data and AI space because it has led to a ton of complexity and fragmentation. Now, this is not my slide. It's a slide put together by a venture capital firm in Silicon Valley. But every tiny icon on the slide is a product or technology in the data and AI space. And this is the complexity that's confronting you today because the burden is on you to figure out which products to use, which ones work together, how are they priced and licensed, and how do you bring them together to create business value. And that's why when I talk to customers, the message I can get consistently is this: please unify. I want to be the chief information officer, not the chief integration officer. Help me translate AI into my competitive advantage. And this is exactly what we're doing in Microsoft. As you probably know, over the last couple of decades, Microsoft has put massive investments in the data space. And what we have done with Microsoft Fabric is bring all of our products together into a single cohesive data platform. With Microsoft Fabric, you get everything you need to go from raw data to AI or BI value in the hands of your business users. Now, in one way to think about Fabric is similar to the transition that Microsoft made 30 years ago. 30 years ago, we had Microsoft Word that competed with WordPerfect. We had Excel that competed with Lotus 123. And then we realized that the opportunity was to help customers improve their productivity in business environments. And that's why we created Office. And we see a very similar opportunity in the data space because most customers building workloads or applications today, these are already AI applications or workloads. And if they're not AI applications or workloads today, you anticipate that they will be AI applications or workloads tomorrow. So the traditional distinctions between SQL databases, NoSQL databases, lake houses, data warehouses, in-memory databases, real-time databases, vector databases, we find that these distinctions are blurring very quickly as your developers mix and match these capabilities in most of these new applications and workloads. And that's why we put Fabric together, because in Fabric, you get all of these capabilities unified into a single cohesive platform. What you see on the top part of the slide are what we refer to as the core Fabric workloads. Now, each of them used to be different products before, but we've really brought them together and done the heavy lifting to unify them. With Data Factory in Fabric, customers get all of the capabilities they need but to connect to data wherever it lives. So Data Factory ships with a few hundred connectors that connects to sources in Azure, in AWS, in GCP, in on-premises systems, as well as in SaaS services like SAP and Salesforce, so that you can connect to data, build data pipelines, and get the data cleaned and ready for AI or BI workloads. For analytics, we have three core capabilities. The first, we have a very strong Spark implementation in Fabric. It is truly world-class. It has a native execution engine as well, so things move really quickly. We also have a very strong data warehousing offering in Fabric. It's a massively parallel data warehouse. It's just built into Fabric. And just like, for everybody who's familiar with SQL Server or Azure SQL, the good news is our data warehouses use exactly the same language, which is T-SQL. We also provide a very strong environment for data scientists to build machine learning models. And underneath the hood, we actually use Azure AI Foundry, which is all of the AI capabilities that Microsoft builds. So you have the goodness of Foundry just built into Fabric and accessible from a fantastic notebook experience that's part of the analytics workload. The third is transactional databases. And this is new for us. Last November, we brought SQL Server, which is our flagship database, into Fabric as a native workload. And in May this year, Satya announced that Cosmos DB, which is our NoSQL document database and used in a wide range of AI applications, including ChatGPT, is also now available in Fabric as a native workload. Now, both SQL and Cosmos are available in public preview right now, so they're not generally available yet, but they will be generally available later in this calendar year. And the good news is, we've brought the worlds of analytics and transactional databases together, so they're no longer worlds apart. You don't have to just shuttle all the data between them because all of the data resides in Fabric and is available end-to-end for all of the workloads. So that's transactional databases. We also have a very, very strong real-time intelligence offering in Fabric. Now, if you look at a lot of the data today, the data is coming in real time. It may be from IoT sensors that go across your supply chain, your stores, your devices, etc., or the real-time data might be flowing in from the applications you build or from your logs and telemetry. And traditionally, working with real-time data has been very hard. It has been complex. It has been expensive. So customers have struggled to work with real-time data. And traditional data platforms have been designed for structured data sitting neatly in tables, and they don't work very well with real-time data. Because with real-time data, the data is semi-structured. It's XML, it's JSON, the schemas drift constantly. So generally, it's been hard for traditional data platforms to work with real-time data. Real-time intelligence in Fabric is purpose-built for real-time data. To give you a sense, we originally built it for Microsoft. So we have about 1.5 billion devices that send us telemetry, Windows devices, Xbox devices. All our telemetry flows into Fabric real-time intelligence. We also have run the world's largest cloud services, and all our that cloud telemetry also goes into Fabric real-time intelligence. So you'll find really, really strong capabilities to work with real-time data at any scale. The last one is Power BI. Most of you probably know Power BI already. Most of you probably use Power BI. It is deployed at massive scale today with over 375,000 organizations using Power BI. So it's a great visualization platform, but it's also a great semantic model. And semantic models have become incredibly important for customers as you've realized that large language models, agents, greatly benefit from semantic models in order to be able to reason over structured data. So these are the core Fabric workloads. All of them have been deeply engineered to actually work together seamlessly into a single unified platform. And what makes this possible is the Fabric platform itself. So I just wanted to share a little bit about what the platform enables for you. The first is the Fabric platform is delivered as software as a service, which means things just work. Your developers are not focused on spinning up clusters, configuring networking, configuring storage. They're really just focused on moving your business forward. Most of the other alternatives to Fabric are available as platform as a service, which means that there's been a lot of burden on you to put the pieces together and configure them before you can actually get to business value. The second thing I wanted to call out is OneLake. OneLake is really, really important. And what OneLake does is it takes your data lake environment and provides it available as a SaaS service, as a software as a service. And we think about OneLake as almost like just OneDrive, but for your data. OneLake does a few things. It makes storage available out of the box, so you never have to worry about storage accounts. And you can decide where the data needs to live. It needs to live in Singapore, it needs to live in Australia, it needs to live in Europe. You get to decide where the data lives, but OneLake just makes storage available for you. Underneath the hood, OneLake manages millions of Azure Data Lake Gen 2 accounts. In addition, with OneLake, Microsoft announced that they have completely moved away from proprietary data formats and embraced open source data formats at the heart of Fabric. So everything in Fabric is based upon Apache Parquet and Delta Lake. This is not a special configuration. This is not a unique format. This is not a special setting. It is a native format, which means that all of your data in Fabric is completely open and you can read it and access it from any system that can work with open source databases. We started with Apache Parquet and Delta Lake, and we also supported Iceberg. So whether you use Iceberg or Delta, Fabric supports both of them with all of the data in the open source format. What we also recognize with OneLake is data lives everywhere. It lives in Azure, it lives on premises, it lives in AWS, and it might live in GCP. So instead of making you migrate all your data to Microsoft first, what Fabric provides with OneLake is it acts as a virtualization layer. So you can simply connect to data wherever it lives, and Fabric allows you to create a shortcut, and the data may be in AWS, it may be on premises, but you just create a shortcut, and OneLake can work with the data without first having to move, copy, or migrate it into Fabric. So you can see why OneLake is so exciting for customers. The last thing I wanted to share about Fabric overall is the business model. One of the things we genuinely believe is that the data landscape is just getting too complex and too expensive for customers. And one of the big reasons why is because so much of your compute is isolated in separate compute pools, which are poorly utilized, and we end up wasting a lot of money. So what we did in Fabric is we unified all of our compute engines. We made them serverless, and we virtualized them. So you can just buy a single thing, which is Fabric Compute, and the same compute can flow across all of the engines. So overnight, it might do a lot of data integration with Data Factory. It might run some Spark workloads. It might use some Azure OpenAI to reason over the data. And in the morning, as your people walk into your offices and your factories, the capacity flows to Power BI and to real-time intelligence. So it's not running on the same physical hardware. These are all serverless clusters. By doing this, we allow you to just buy a single thing, which is Fabric Capacity, and consolidate many isolated workloads into Fabric, which gives you much better utilization, much lower cost, much quicker time to value, which is great value for you, and it gives us the opportunity to earn more of your business. So that's a quick overview of all of the capabilities that Fabric provides end to end. For any developer, particularly Power BI developers, so that they all have access to Fabric with just a single click. And if you're in the Power BI experience, all you need to do is go to the top right, where you can see your name, click on that icon, and right there, you will be able to start a Fabric trial. So we've really made it easy to sign up for a free trial, and our free trials are very, very generous. So if you sign up for a free trial, we don't require a credit card, we don't require an Azure subscription, and we give you an F64 SKU. Now, F64 SKU is priced at about $8,500 a month, which means that you get that capacity for 2 months, which is about $17,000 of capacity. Now, we give you that much capacity, which is the most generous trial program in the industry, because we want your developers to experience Fabric. We want them to see what Fabric can do for them, because we're very confident that they will love Fabric once they start building with it. And it's really, really easy. Just go to this URL or click on this QR code, and any developer, including all Power BI developers, can easily sign up for a Fabric capacity. It only takes a few seconds. Now, what I thought would be interesting is just tell you about where are the areas that we're investing in Fabric. So there's 3 areas that we're investing, in Fabric in a really, really material way. The first is really to give you an AI-powered development platform that helps you build analytic solutions, real-time solutions, and applications very, very quickly. And Copilot assists the entire data development journey. The second is we're really investing in OneLake to make it that open and AI-ready data lake, which can really connect to the world's data and have all of the data available for you in open formats, regardless of whether the data is in Azure Databricks or Databricks on AWS or Snowflake or any of SAP or Salesforce. OneLake makes it very, very easy to reach out, connect to the world's data, and use that to deliver AI solutions, applications, and business intelligence solutions as well. The last one is making sure that we AI enable every business user. Our business users are using Power BI, they're using Excel, they're using Teams, or they're using the Microsoft 365 Copilot. And no matter where the business users are, we want to make sure that all of the data in Fabric is built into all of the experiences. And we do this through the OneLake catalog. The OneLake catalog, is built into Fabric. It covers all of the data elements in Power BI, all of the data elements in Fabric, and it is available not just within Fabric, but it's available in Power BI. It's available in Excel. It's available in Teams, and it's basically available wherever business users are. And because it's available in Excel, for example, if you're an Excel analyst, all of the data in Fabric is just available for you. You can analyze it in Excel. It connects live to the Fabric data, so you can analyze massive data volumes. All your security permissions just flow into Excel, whether there's row level security, column level security, or information protection labels. So hopefully this gives you an end-to-end view of what Fabric can do for you. Now I'm going to show 3 really, really critical areas with demos so that you can see what Fabric, how Fabric looks and works and the value that it can add. Now, the first area I'm going to talk about is really end-to-end AI-powered analytics. And as I mentioned, as you think about all of the core Fabric workloads, we have Copilot built across all of the experiences. So whether you're bringing in data with Data Factory, or you're, building on a data warehouse, you're building Spark workloads and data science experiments, or building on Power BI, there's a Copilot that helps you through your entire data journey, which means it helps you accelerate the time to value so much more quickly because it is assisting every developer through the entire data journey. So to see this experience in action, let me play the first demo, which shows you how Copilot accelerates your end-to-end analytics journey.
Here I am in my Contoso Sales workspace. I will use the basic analytics pre-designed task flow to build my analytics solution. This task flow is an excellent starting point for designing and deploying various data solutions. I can also modify it to suit my organization's needs. Once I have my starting point, I can use the task flow to select the necessary items for the solution. To get started, I'll create a data warehouse to store all my data. Once the data warehouse is up and running, the next step involves using Copilot to generate the necessary T-SQL scripts for creating the tables. Rather than manually inputting the code, by simply typing a prompt, Copilot will seamlessly generate the required T-SQL scripts. After the script is ready, I can open a query window and execute the query to create the table. This method allows me to repeat the process for all other required objects, ensuring a streamlined approach to building the entire data warehouse. This method not only saves time, but also minimizes the potential for errors that can occur with manual scripting. After I've created all the tables in the data warehouse, the next step is to extract and load the data from the source. Let's return to the workspace. Click the Collect Data Task Flow item and select the Copy Job item from the recommended list. Provide a name and follow the steps. First, choose the data source that contains the data. Then select the corresponding tables. Next, select the destination, which is the Fabric data warehouse that was created in the previous section, and opt for an incremental copy to speed up subsequent data loads. Select the incremental columns for each table in the source. Finally, configure the schedule that meets your organization needs, and then click Save and Run to start copying the data from the source to the data warehouse. Once the copy job is successfully executed and all the data is loaded into the data warehouse, I will return to the data warehouse to validate the data. This can be done by manually writing T-SQL queries or using Copilot. I will, of course, use Copilot. By providing a prompt to Copilot, a query will be generated, which can then be executed to verify the accuracy and validity of the data. After the data is validated, the next step is to build a semantic model for reporting and analysis. To do this, click the New Semantic Model button, then provide a name for the model, and finally, select the necessary tables from your data warehouse. Just like that, the semantic model is created. Now, directly in the web browser, you can view and modify model properties, and you can even create relationships between tables in your semantic model. Once the model is ready, I'll switch to the DAX query view and begin to add measures. Similar to writing T-SQL, I can manually write DAX because it's so easy to do. However, I'll use Copilot to create all the necessary measures. By providing a prompt, Copilot generates all the DAX required to formulate my measures. I could then execute the queries to validate both the DAX and the data. Once this process is complete, I am able to add all the measures to the model with a single click. With the model now complete, including relationships and measures, it's time to build some reports. Instead of starting from scratch, I can leverage the capabilities of Copilot to give us a strong starting point in our report design. By providing a simple prompt, Copilot can generate nearly what we need, allowing us to save valuable time and effort. This initial report can be customized and refined to meet our specific requirements, ensuring that it aligns perfectly with our analytical goals. Some charts reference the date key, but I prefer calendar year. I can continue my conversation with Copilot and ask it to make this change. And just like that, the report is updated instantly. With my report complete, I'll return to my workspace. All the parts of my solution are now complete. Now let's focus on natural language processing. I could use notebooks, experiments, or AI skills in Fabric to build this. Instead, I'll use the built-in immersive Copilot experience. By clicking the Copilot button, I can interact with my data. For example, I can ask for sales by store. Copilot quickly generates a visual that displays the answer to my question. In addition, I can ask for something more complicated, like the top 5 product sales per store. Copilot quickly produces another response to my question. And just like that, in just a few minutes, I've used Fabric to create a comprehensive end-to-end data analytics solution that collects data, stores data, visualizes data, and uses natural language to interact with data.
All right. Hopefully the demo gave you a sense of how because Fabric is an end-to-end product, it really helps you see the end-to-end value that Fabric delivers and how easy it is to build that analytics workload in Fabric because Copilot helps you every step of the way. Now, the second demo that I wanted to show you is really about real-time intelligence. So I did talk about Fabric RTI before. Now let me show you how it works. Now, if I double-click into RTI, there's 3 components to it. The first is best-in-class connectivity. We can connect to real-time data everywhere from Azure Event Hub, Event Grid, IoT Hub, etc. So all your Azure sources are covered. We connect to Dynamics 365. We connect to Kafka clusters running anywhere. We have out-of-the-box support for AWS Kinesis as well as Google PubSub. So it'll be very, very easy to connect to real-time data coming in from everywhere. When the data comes in, it comes to a real-time hub. And the real-time hub is, think about it as the data catalog just built for all of your real-time sources. So it's very easy to find all your real-time data, and then it's very easy to act on it. And for you to be able to act on it, we provide 4 capabilities. Event streams that allow you to, work with the data as it's streaming in, filter the data down, do things like tumbling windows, etc. Event House, which provides high, very, very fast analytics on top of all of your real-time data. A real-time dashboard so that you can see the data being visualized as it's coming in, as well as Data Activator, which allows you to take business actions when specific things happen. Like, for example, a sensor getting too hot, or a warehouse running out of inventory, or a truck running late. So it can act on your real-time data, it can act on your batch data, and it can, notify individuals, it can kick off business processes, it can, call REST APIs. So it really closes the loop between things happening in your data to actions so that you can react quickly as things happen. So let me show you a quick demo of how in this example, an airline company is using Fabric real-time intelligence.
Every organization faces challenges on responding quickly to changes in the business or external conditions like weather. Their success depends on how quickly and efficiently they can be proactive and adapt to these unexpected changes before they impact operations or customer experience. The real-time intelligence capabilities of Microsoft Fabric are a game changer for helping organizations integrate all of their data into an intelligent solution to help improve operations and mitigate disruptions before they occur. World-leading airlines like Emirates fly thousands of flights every week. They can have real-time data coming in from everywhere, including from Azure, Amazon, Google, Kafka, and even public data feeds. Today, I want to connect to our flight status data stream using Apache Kafka and bring it into the real-time hub. With just a couple of clicks, I can see the data flowing in. As the data is ingested, it can be transformed and routed to multiple destinations, or acted on immediately. This data is landing in Event House, which is specifically tailored to time-based, highly granular data. I can easily query petabytes of data on flight status, passengers, maintenance information, weather, and more, with answers to complex questions in seconds. I can also use Copilot to help me pull together separate feeds like flight and weather data. Fabric makes it easy to create interactive, operational dashboards so everyone can keep track of the data as it updates real-time. This opens up new opportunities for usage of the data by more personas within the organization. On our flight operations dashboard, I can easily track concerning flight patterns and set up alerts for excessive flight speed using Activator. It's seamless to drive action within Fabric or in our operational systems using Power Automate. Prior to real-time intelligence, building a solution that ingests, monitors, analyzes, and more on streaming and high-granularity data required deep expertise and complex tooling. Now, with real-time intelligence in Microsoft Fabric, We're democratizing the end-to-end experience for streaming and high-granularity data, helping organizations succeed in the era of AI.
So as you saw, Fabric makes it really simple to work with real-time data at massive scale. Now, the third demo I wanted to show you is how we enable business users. And here, Fabric has a really significant advantage because, if you think about business users, they have a range of questions that they're trying to ask. Some of them may be simple data retrieval questions like what's my revenue, what's my growth, etc. Some of them may be much more complex questions that require some deep analysis that they will typically have a human do for them. And our objective in Fabric is for every business user to be able to cover this entire range of questions. Now, the way we do this is we recognize that data lives everywhere. But OneLake, as we already talked about, makes it easy to unify your data, to bring it, through our connectors, to create shortcuts. No matter what mechanism it is, OneLake makes it easy for you to bring all of your data together across all clouds into a single unified place where Fabric can reason with it. Now, if the data is in OneLake, Fabric has a set of core artifacts that model the data, whether it's a data warehouse, a transactional database, a lake house, or an event house. Fabric supports all of these capabilities. But what's really interesting is on top of these core Fabric artifacts, you can build semantic models. And semantic models are just built into Fabric. The most recent version of the semantic model in Fabric was built, about a decade ago. So we've been investing in for the last 10 years. It's been part of Power BI from day one, but it allows you to specify the business logic that makes it easy for a large language model or an agent to reason over your data. The semantic model covers things like what are business-friendly usernames, what are the relationships between tables, so that the LLM knows how the data should be joined correctly and it doesn't have to guess. How are measures defined? Things like variance to budget, year-over-year growth, by constant currency, by customer segment, etc. It provides a sophisticated modeling language called data analysis expressions, which allow you to really model all of your measures, which means that the LLM doesn't have to guess how business metrics are calculated. And it also provides hierarchy, so the LLMs and the agents know how to traverse your data. So very, very sophisticated capabilities that are widely used with millions of developers around the world today, just built into Fabric. So with Fabric, with all of these capabilities, we let you create data agents that help reason over the data and answer your business questions. And these data agents are built everywhere where your business users are. Now, that might be, the Microsoft 365 Copilot, it might be Power BI, it might be Teams, it might be Excel, it might be the Power Platform, it might be AI Foundry. So we really want to make sure that all of the data through the data agents are available for all of your AI experiences across every Microsoft property. So let me show you a quick demo of the data agent experience, and you'll see this running in Power BI in this demo.
Power BI gives amazing business value, but sometimes it's hard to find what you need. I'm not lazy, I'm just efficient. And the new standalone Copilot experience helps me be just that. For example, give me an overview of how the sales pipeline is doing at the outdoor store. And Copilot will find the most relevant items. Just pick which one you want to use, and Copilot creates a detailed summary explaining key points and incorporating visuals from the report. I can also ask specific questions like compare revenue won versus lost for my products in each region. Let's try a more complex question though. Help me perform a cohort analysis for the Go Green initiative. Copilot doesn't know this one. There's a specific visual I had in mind, and it has no way of knowing what the Go Green initiative is in my company. Let's jump over to the brand new option in Power BI available today called Prep My Data for AI. First, we can limit Copilot to only what it needs. Using the option Simplify the Data Schema, you can easily hide fields from Copilot, which in turn improves the relevance of Copilot generated responses. Now I need to let Copilot know what the Go Green initiative is. This is a campaign we're doing focusing on our electric bikes. So I'll tell Copilot that anytime someone mentions Go Green, the data should be filtered to electric bike products. Finally, heading back to my report, I want to mark this cohort analysis visual as a verified answer. This will allow it to always be returned when consumers use the phrase and keywords that I specify. I can also pick fields that users can request filters for. Just like that, I've prepared my semantic model and Copilot's ready to go. Now all I need to do is mark the semantic model as prepped for AI in the Power BI service. Now let's get back to that cohort analysis I wanted to do earlier. Let's ask it again to perform a cohort analysis for the Go Green initiative. That's a lot better. Got what we were looking for. Let's look at a different question. We're looking for what opportunities are performing each month. More specifically, how many opportunities do I have each month and what's their status? That's nice, but I need it to go further. I could continue to use natural language, or I can easily switch to a more direct approach by selecting Explore. You have options. And here I can easily adjust the visuals by changing the fields or the visual type, or adding, updating a filter, or even adding new calculations. All of these new experiences available now drastically reduce the time to insight and empower you to unlock the full potential of AI.